On Fridays, I like to take a little extra time with the feed system, make sure everything is ready to go for the weekend. I think one of the silos needs the unloader drop down a door. Yeah, we got the shredded cow running right now. We got space there to drop the door down. We're still feeding shredded cow out of the silo that we had filled first, that we only filled about a quarter full. The middle silo is almost full then. It'll have settled a good bit, but that's gonna need to be opened up in maybe a month, give or take. We've had the Lely Vector feeding system in for about 8 months now. It's been working out really well. Definitely gotten more used to having the system run. The nice thing about the setup that we have is we don't have to be in here every day doing something for the feeding. I have to be on call and available if something goes wrong, but I don't really worry about the feeding, and it's taken care of. You know, I'm weekly tracking the grain in the bins, ordering supplement every week, corn and soybeans every other week. About, you know, the feed out of the silos doesn't take a lot of work to keep up with. In this room, we have the hay box. That's the main thing that needs to be filled. Right now, we're filling it 3 times a week because we're feeding a good amount of hay to help stretch the corn silage. Once we're back into straw, we'll fill that twice a week. And we have these 2 mineral bins. I need to check those today. Probably need filled for the dry cow and heifer mineral. One thing I have to make sure I'm watching is the molasses tank. That's something you don't really think about, and then all of a sudden you ran out of it. Gotta be careful with that. We got supplement running right now. It's for one of the milk cow batches. The one thing we're gonna have to do soon is change all these drop hoses from the augers. They just aren't holding up. There's some holes in a couple of them. We've put some tape around them temporarily, but I want to maybe get some PVC pipes. We'll have to put some angles to fit everything down, but something that's going to hold up a little bit better. As far as the reliability on the actual mixing feeding robots, early on we had a couple little issues with some things. Yeah, I don't know, there was a software update that we needed. There was a couple sensors that went bad, but they've been working really well lately. I'm learning to trust that they're going to get the job done. You never know when something can go wrong, but they've definitely been very reliable. Seems like more as time goes on. That's been good. I mean, we're still only 8 months in. They're basically new units. They're needing a good cleaning. With those grain pipes leaking, we got some dust on these, and then we just had 1.5 inches of rain since yesterday, so that soaked everything. We'll go up and do this silo first. Yeah, see right there. I gotta put some more tape on there. Getting different leaks. Those are just a little too flimsy for the amount of grain we're running through them every day. The silos are very easy to keep up with. Yeah, you have to climb them to change the doors, but it's not something you're doing that often. I definitely like them. I found with this dry shredded cow, I really like to have a dust mask on. I can't stand breathing in a bunch of dust. It just bothers me. So, I like to bring a little hammer along with me, which I forgot. Hopefully this door opens on its own. Oh, easy. You never know. Oh, about 3 rings worth of feed, so still 12 feet of feed. It's packed pretty good, so yeah, it's going to be more than a month, I would say, until this silo is empty again. So if you remember this spring, we had cut about 1/4 of our acres early and put some in this silo. It was only 40 feet filled, so we're still working our way through that. It's pretty good stuff. It's ready to go again for another week or so, or 2 weeks. Corn silage running now. Corn silage is our second to last ingredient. Put the water in very last. We've been continuing to add water to the mix. I think we have 8 pounds going in per cow per day. One concern with water in the summer is it can actually help the feed to heat quicker in the troughs. So I'm not sure if we should try reducing the water, see if that makes a difference. Now that we've gotten to summer, I've lowered the feed heights. Like, it won't refeed until the feed's cleaned up pretty well. And we've also been cleaning the troughs out a couple times a week lately, try to keep it fresher. So I'm gonna go switch the door on the silage silo as well. That one we can skip a door. Been changing that about every 3 weeks lately. I was thinking of adjusting the silo because I thought it was leaving a little bit on the wall, but it doesn't look like it's really doing that anymore. Stuff is cold. It's one thing I really like about these silos in the heat of summer. You just got stable feed. Bunker silos were always a challenge once it got hot out to keep them really fresh. I think bunkers are fine. It's just ours were pretty small, so you just don't have a lot of feed below that surface. You're dealing with a lot of surface area kind of per ton of silage. So, and once you get into these bigger farms, bigger bunkers, it starts to make more sense. But for us, I really like these silos. I think it helps us to have more consistent feed, cleaner feed. Got it in a little drier than we wanted to. I think we could do better this coming year, but still, it's feeding well. The cows are milking well on it. Over 7 pounds of components here in the summer, besides this week. Brought my grease gun along. I'm just gonna grease this unit. It's been a bit since I did that. I got the wagon unplugged. So that's everything I need to do. Should be good for the weekend. I don't expect to have to do anything with these feeders over the weekend. You never know. I've gone up to a whole week without getting a single call. We had a little bit of trouble lately with the hay box in there. Hay doesn't flow through as well. We had to chop the hay a little bit less fine because it was kind of tough this last batch. And so that was piling up sometimes. The feeders themselves have been working really well. All right, I'm gonna call it a day. Thanks a lot for watching, guys.